Master Komal. So, good morning, fellow Toastmasters and my dear guests. It's lovely to see you all gathered for the 425th milestone meeting of Chennai Speakers Forum. It's always special for me to any kind of milestone meeting that I attend for CSR, starting from the 300th meeting. So, it's lovely to see you all over here. So, we all are into something new in this new world. So, due to this whole COVID-19 situation, we have entered into a new world called the pandemic world, where we study in a new way, we work in a new way, we connect in a new way, and we celebrate in a new way. And hence, we have gathered here to celebrate in a new way as well. But there's another thing that we have also gained, something which is new to all ourselves. That is a new body shape. Since this pandemic has started, we all have been seated in our homes, not going out, not working out, not playing, rather just ordering food on Swiggy and Zomato and eating a lot. And thus, we have gained a new body shape. So, just to guide us as to how we can change this new body shape into a better body shape, we have a special guest today. So, to talk about this guest, he's a bodybuilder, athlete, and he's also won titles such as Mr. Tamil Nadu and Mr. South India. And not just that, he has a 7 years of experience as bodybuilding coach. And he also trains a lot of athletes and people. And not just that, he also gives nutrition consultant. Wow, that's really great for one person to have these many accomplishments. So without much ado, let me introduce the first guest speaker of today's meeting, Aadi Ravi.
Thank you so much for the introduction, Isma.
Hello, Mr. Adi.
Hi.
Hi. So, welcome to the 425th milestone meeting of Chennai Speakers Forum. We are glad to have you over here, and thanks for accepting our invite and being here. It's a pleasure that you are amidst us in this special occasion.
Thank you so much for the invite, and it's a pleasure to join you guys on your milestone meeting.
Okay, that's amazing. So we are all eagerly looking forward to learn something interesting, something new to change our new body shapes from you. So to kickstart this session, I have a couple of questions that I'll be asking you, just some casual basic questions. That's how this whole session is going to go about. So shall we begin, Mr. Adi?
Yep.
Okay, great.
We'll start.
Yeah. So my first question to you would be, when, who, and what motivated you to enter this fitness industry?
From my childhood, I was always associated with a lot of sports activities. Like I used to be a track and field athlete till my 10th grade and stuff. So I used to be a lot. I used to play a lot and stuff. 11th and 12th didn't do much about sports or anything. As everyone, I had to sit down and study. Put on a couple of kilos of weight. Didn't like about it. So when I started college, I actually started to do bodybuilding. Uh, Started to see how my body starts to transform. Got more motivated to learn about your body, your system, how it actually works and everything. So it all started from there. Started to win competitions in my college and everything. So that added to my motivation of learning more and transforming my body and stuff like that. Over a point of time, I started, as I said, I started to learn a lot about how your body works and everything. Started to coach people and started to see transformation amongst everyone. So that actually inspired me to make a change in other people's life, in helping them to understand how your body works. And looking good doesn't always mean looking leaner. Your body composition is completely different than being healthy. So there's a lot of difference and a lot of myths around being healthy. They always associate people who are leaner to be more healthy. Most cases, it's not that case. So people who are leaner may have a lot more fat percentage than people who look a little bit more chubby. So body composition is totally different from the appearance how you look. So I wanted to start to create some kind of a change, some kind of a learning to the society. So that's where all my motivation and everything started from. That's how I started to do bodybuilding as well.
Okay, that's an amazing. I could literally connect with whatever you said. Being myself, being a lean person, growing out to be a fitter person, I could literally connect to whatever you said. And the best part was where during your college days where you started working out and making sure that you're fit. I think everyone present over here could definitely connect because we all have the zeal to look better, to impress someone special, to impress someone with whom we work or our fellow friends.
That's true. You always get motivated by the people around you as well. So always people around me have always motivated me to where I am right now. Learned a lot from everyone. Uh, I'm always open to learning. I always listen a lot. I'm always open to learning. It doesn't matter who it comes from. As long as you get some information out of it, just keep learning about it. So I think people around me have always been supportive and motivating in whatever I do.
Absolutely. That's a great answer, Mr. Adi. So moving on to my next question. So what were your greatest hurdles while achieving these titles such as Mr. Tamil Nadu and Mr. South India? And what were your key learnings during this journey?
Couple of things. So let's put it into this perspective. So whenever I started my bodybuilding, to convince my parents or to convince the society was a great deal because uh, 8 years back, taking bodybuilding as a profession or being a coach wasn't in my family cards as well because I'm the only person into sports. Coming from a traditional South Indian background, I have a couple of degrees against my name, which I haven't used for anything other than getting those degrees. So I've always been into sports and always been a coach and always been a bodybuilder. So my first hurdle was to convince my parents and the family and society around me that I could do something out of it. One more thing was that I always believed in what I wanted to achieve. So no matter what hurdles come in, even though they weren't very keen in what I pursued, but my family was very supportive in whatever I did. So they were supportive in every step that I wanted to take when I finished my college and everything. So I have a B mechanical engineering degree and I have a postgraduate degree in supply chain as well. So my mom always wanted me to have a postgraduate degree, so I did it for her, and now I'm doing whatever I feel, whatever is my passion and what I can do in terms of changing the society a little bit in terms of fitness and stuff. So that's been one of the major hurdles. Now people start to, once you start to achieve, once you start to show them what you can pursue, what you can do out of whatever you want to do, I think people start believing you. Now start people start to believe in what I do. So the knowledge that I could share, people start to see the transformation that they can get out of it and everything. So now things are getting a lot more better in terms of um, people. As I said, once you start winning, once you start showing whatever results it is, people start believing around you. That's one major aspect. Other than that, in terms of winning those titles, I always don't compete for titles. I only want to make sure that I'm better than what I was yesterday. It doesn't matter when I win first or second or third. Those titles doesn't matter a lot to me as long as I continuously improve on what I was before to today. I'm happy with that. So if I win Mr. India or South India or like do whatever titles I want, I just feel happy that I'm better than what I was yesterday. So as far as those titles are concerned, that's how I pursue those titles to be as. So um, that doesn't do much to me as long as I'm improving.
Very well said, Mr. Adi. I could definitely connect with you. Following your passion and proving that you can succeed in your field that you're passionate about definitely speaks a lot. And you can also shut a lot of people out there, the society out there, who kind of defames you, saying that you can't achieve in a particular field just because that it's not common or it's not accepted by the society. That's very well said, Mr. Adi. So moving to my next question, that would be, as a child, was becoming a bodybuilder trainer your dream profession, or did you have any other dream profession in your mind?
Uh, so from childhood, I've always wanted to work for myself. I never wanted to work for others. So I always thought I would get into some kind of a business. That was my only thought from my childhood. But other than that, I've never worked in any other profession other than fitness, as I told in the beginning. So I've always been as I said, after college, I've always started to fascinate about how our body starts to work and how we can do a lot more around it and stuff like that. So I wanted to become a bodybuilder right after my college, but I didn't know how to pursue that and how to take forward steps like that. So I moved down to Australia. I was in Australia for about 6, 7 years as a strength and conditioning coach as well. So learned a lot over there. When you go out of your comfort zone, that's when you realize what you can achieve by yourself. I was way too much moved to my comfort zone over here, so I wanted to move out of that. So I went down to Australia. I learned a lot of stuff around it, started to practice, started to put into play what I wanted to do, and started to see a good result and started to see a self transformation within me as well. I wasn't a person who talks a lot like this. I used to be very, very reserved and thing. As I said, once you start moving out of your comfort zone and everything, you start to realize who you are and what you're made up of. And I think that Australia, that 6, 7 years actually made who I am today. And a lot of stuff I learned was from there, wherever I started to begin it from. So it always started from there. And as I say, I've never dreamed of doing any other profession, or I've never worked in any other profession other than being a coach and being a bodybuilder myself. So,
That's amazing. That's amazing, Mr. Adi. I never got to know that like I would be interviewing a person who is like-minded like me. It's really fascinating to see that you're similar to me, because even I'm following my passion, moving out of my comfort zone, that is from Chennai and coming to Canada was a huge journey for me, and I'm learning a lot of new things. So definitely I could like relate to whatever you said. Okay, so my next question is, as a nutritionist, what advice would you like to give to everyone over here in this new pandemic-driven world?
Uh, so from a nutrition standpoint, I would first go and say there's no superfood available in this market right now where you can eat and boost your immune system straight away. It doesn't work like that. So on a consistent basis, try to make sure you get enough of everything that you need. People always concentrate only on the outer perspective, like your protein, fats, and carbohydrates, but there's a lot more holistic approach to it, like your vitamins, which plays a major role, like your zinc, your magnesium, your vitamin B12, and everything. So start to choose foods that is going to give you a variety of vitamins and minerals that your body needs for it to form a good immune system. But as I said, so the thing is that with immune system, it has to continuously has to fight to win battles for it to become more stronger. If you know karate, it doesn't mean that you can go out on streets tomorrow and fight unless you practice fighting. That's why I think Indians are a little bit more stronger in terms of our immune system, because from childhood we are exposed to a lot more of the viruses and everything. So our body is constantly preparing for the fight and it's always been fighting around it. And that's why I think we were much better off when compared to the other Western countries when the pandemic situation came, even though our restriction wasn't that great as the Western countries. So we're still able to pull it off just because we have a better immune system because our body are used to fighting a lot more viruses and stuff. But to make a body to fight against viruses, we need to make sure that we have good amount of food into our system that has enough of vitamins and nutrition so that your body can make its own medicine and fight its antibodies that is going to fight against your immune system. So try not to eat outside for a longer period of time. Try eating at home once a week. Out should be more than enough for you. Eating outside too much, you don't know what ingredient they put into your food. So I always make sure I know what I'm eating. So make conscious effort into know what you're putting into your system. And as I say, start using a holistic approach. Start making sure that you get enough of everything. So start googling up. You know what nutrition, what food has got into it and stuff like that. So once you start understand how it works, then you can start to include different varieties of food. So I would say just don't eat one because you like. If you like potatoes, just don't keep eating potatoes because you get high potassium. That's good, but you will lose on the other vitamins and minerals. So start to use different foods for the whole week. So it all depends on what you do for the week. It doesn't depend on what you do for a day. So one day you eat outside, you won't become fat tomorrow morning. It doesn't work like that. Uh, so anything has to be done on a continuous basis. So make sure that you have different proteins. If you eat meat, make sure you eat different meats throughout the week. If you're a vegetarian, make sure you include different varieties of vegetables, different varieties of lentils and everything. So have a variety of food throughout the week because that will give you enough of nutrition of everything that your body requires for.
Okay, that's amazing. I hope everyone present in today's meeting had made a note of all those things so that they can have a healthy diet. So my next question is, there's been this misconception that the protein drinks that have been suggested by our trainers at gym cause health issues. Do you think they really cause health issues, and what kind of diet would you suggest to eliminate these drinks?
Uh, so first of all, you need to understand what whey protein is. So I hope everyone would have tried making paneer at home. When we make the paneer, we throw away the liquid out, right, which we thought is waste. That's exactly whey. That is what we are drinking as whey protein. So what they do is they dehydrate it, so they remove the water content out of it, so it becomes in the powder form. They add artificial flavors, and then they add like stevia or any other artificial sweetness into it, and make it a little bit more tasty for you to drink. So it is not something synthetic that is made out of a laboratory. It is a food. It is made out of milk products. So anyone who is lactose intolerant would not be able to consume a whey protein because it has got a little bit of lactose in it. So once you know understand what whey protein is, it is not totally bad for you to consume whey protein. One thing you should understand: whey protein is always called a supplement. It is not a food, so it can never replace any food. So you always need to make sure that it's an addition to what you eat. See, it all depends on what's your requirement of protein a day. So as a bodybuilder, I need about 300 grams of protein a day, which is more than about a kilo and a half of 2 kilos of chicken, which is not going to be possible for me to eat so much of chicken in a day. So I would restrict myself to have 1 kilo and the rest of it through whey protein. So it again comes down to what your body requirement. So someone who's not training or someone who's just training for like being fit and stuff like that, anywhere around 100 grams of protein is good enough for them. About 500 grams of chicken, a couple of eggs a day should be more than enough. You don't need to consume a whey protein unless you're not able to meet it through real food. So you can never compromise real food with supplements. And people who are sometimes who are very busy, who have meetings, schedules after schedules, won't have enough time to sit down and eat 4 5 meals. Then they can have a shake in between their meetings or anything. Just make sure that they get enough of protein of whatever they need for the day. So this always an addition to whatever food that you take, but if you have time in the world to sit down and eat 6 7 meals and get enough protein through your real food, I would say don't even go for whey protein because at the end of the day you can never replace real food with whey protein. It just comes down to your convenience, whether you're able to get it or not. If you're not able to get it, it's better than not getting enough protein. It's better than drinking a whey protein, just not to waste that not getting enough protein into your system. That's in the, so it's not necessary or mandatory that to be a professional bodybuilder or to have a good physique that you'll have to take a whey protein. It's not that big.
Okay, that's great. In my own doubts, my dilemma of this protein shakes was clarified now. Glad that I asked this question to you.
Yeah, I hope you understood.
Yeah, I could connect it. Like, because even when I used to hit the gym, my trainer used to give a similar kind of an explanation, and now it makes more sense because hearing from a professional like you clarifies our doubts. So this would be my final question of our today's interview. So in this new norm with gyms closed and the minimal team sports opportunities, what advice or workout tips would you give to all of us present in today's meeting?
So, couple of steps. So, any kind of an exercise activity is good at the beginning. So, if you don't have any specific goal of competing, or if you don't have any specific goal, just being fit, any type of physical activity to start off with is a very good start. Even walking around your apartment for like 15 minutes a day would be a good start rather than being at home for the whole day. So, anything that you can do that is within your capabilities is a very good start. I think there's a lot of online classes that's come up with a lot of different people. I think actually after pandemic, people are now realizing the importance of being a little bit more fitter because I think now that's the only way to just stay away from the coronavirus. I think people wants to get more fitter and everything. I think there's a slight shift between people realizing to eat at home. I think I've seen a lot of people who actually transform a lot of kilos just by eating at home this whole pandemic because they couldn't go out and eat. Uh, so eating at home, I think people are shifting towards more of an healthy lifestyle. I think now the fitness is actually going to home. I think there's so many classes on YouTube or so many things that you can actually see and you can actually do at home. It is actually pretty simple and it's actually very easy. It's not very too complicated. You don't need any equipment or anything. You just floor exercises, couple of squats, push-ups a day, 15 minutes of walk should be a good start. And from there, so what happens is whenever I've seen through my experience, a lot of people start training, a lot of people start in being more fit as they start seeing positive results, they start to change their goals. Their goals starts to become a lot more better. So they'll be like, okay, I want to do this next. I want to do this next. So when his goals start to change, then we sit down and seriously think as to which is going to be the right place or what is going to be the right kind of training for you to achieve those goals. But at the beginning, because of the pandemic, you're not able to go out. You're just sitting at home, just to make sure that you get about 6,000, 7,000 steps a day. So I think everyone has a smartphone and everyone has got a step calculator in it. So if you do about 6,000 or 7,000 steps a day, which is like just moving around your home, that's more than enough for you to actually start being more healthy and active. You just have to be more active. Just start trying moving a lot more frequently. Even if you have meetings, try to walk and take your meetings, walk and talk with people and everything, so that you don't realize that you're doing 6,000 steps. As I said, few squats, few push-ups here and there, few lunges and everything, without any weights that you can do at home, will be a good start for you to get more fit and stuff. As you start seeing positive, anything that you start doing, anything that you're going to move, anything that's going to make it better, will always have a positive feedback on your body. Once you see a positive changes, you'll automatically get motivated to either join the gym after the pandemic or to do take up any sport and play. So one thing that you always have to remember is anything that you do for that matter has to be a very enjoyable process. Never force yourself into a gym. Me being a trainer, I will not force someone into a gym. If he likes to play badminton, I would say go and play badminton. That would be a better sport for him than him hitting the gym or her hitting the gym. Always do anything that is going to be more helpful for you in terms of your mindset as well, because any sport actually not only your physical, your mental as perspective also starts to change. So you'll be able to think a lot more better and everything. So for that matter, like food or exercise has to be a very enjoyable process. So choose the sport or choose the method of your training which is going to be more suitable for your lifestyle and which you enjoy on a daily basis.
That's great. That's really well said, Mr. Rati. And me being a footballer myself, I used to play a lot of football before the pandemic situation had actually started. But now I kind of feel that I've become more kind of unfit or unhealthier because of this 1 year long gap. And especially over here, it's even more stricter than India. So I
That's
could
true.
definitely connect with whatever you said. But I kind of brought in few changes within myself by cooking my healthier food rather than buying food from outside, and also, as I said, doing push-ups and lunges within my room. So that's definitely helping me. But I'm getting there. So I totally get with what you said. So it was great having a chat with you, Mr. Adi. I hope everyone present here thoroughly enjoyed all your talks, your tips, and your suggestions. And I believe that everyone, no, I don't know how long this whole pandemic situation is going to exist, but I'm sure until it exists, people are going to definitely follow your tips and suggestions. And once again, I would like to thank you for being here at our special location and enlightening us with so much of information and knowledge on how being fit and healthier is important in today's world. Thank you so much, Mr. Adi.
Thank you so much for the invite. It's a pleasure to join you guys on your milestone meeting.